Right, let's get the live chat up and running and begin this stream. So firstly, I'd like to say hello to everyone all around the world. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to the stream. Today I'll be doing a stream on one of the base routes that comes with Train Sim World 2 as standard, and that of course is the London Underground Bakerloo line. So depending time wise, we might do 2 trips, but like I said, time wise we might be doing just the one today, and I think I'll pick one from journey mode. We'll do a full length run going from where is it, Harrow and Willstone to Elephant and Castle. Should be good fun. I had some practice earlier on today, so I'm a little bit up to speed with the London Underground. Right, put the key in. Right. Oh, yep, now let's get going. Put on the gauge lights. The lights for the carriages, for the passengers. Set the destination display. Just like so. To Elephant and Castle. Let's get on the brakes. And let the passenger procedures commence. Well, the boarding procedures. Okay. I will try to stay as close to the scheduled time as possible, but it's incredibly difficult, almost impossible, to get even a smidge close to the scheduled timetable. Very, very tight schedule to work to, but I'll try my best. The first stop is Kenton. Just left Harrow and Willstone. I have a cup of tea with me for this voyage across London town, so that'll keep me going. It's a pretty intense stopping pattern. What is it? I think it's 25 stops, I think. 25, 24, 26, something like that. So yeah, it's pretty intense. So a lot of constant stopping and starting, so it's yeah, certainly a challenge. Approaching Kenton now. Let's get on the brakes hard as we can. We'll come off the brakes, so we just cruise to the stopping point. On the brakes once more. Whoa. That will do. Just like that. Magic. Oh god, we got a lot of doors. Blimey. Just took a glance at my watch and suddenly we gotta go. The next stop is South Kenton, platform 1. Yeah, the plan is to do a full-length run from Harrow and Wiltstone to Elephant and Castle, and if I have enough time I might be able to do a run from Elephant and Castle to Queen's Park. Of course, time depending. Approaching South Kenton. We'll cruise for a little bit. Now we'll get on the brakes. I think there are rumours that in this future DLC pack for the base Train Sim World 2 routes, or routes if you're in America, however you want to call it, there are rumours saying that the timetable will be effectively doubled on this route. I know Dovetail were originally pushing for what, I think it's 450 services, which is a lot. And at the time it wasn't practical for that to be possible, but in this DLC pack, who knows? I actually watched a preview stream to this DLC pack, and they showcased the services for Sandpatch Grade and Snowfast Tracker Call to Aachen. Call to Aachen I was really happy with. Really pleased they gave the timetable a good boost. In line with the other more recent German routes like München-Augsburg, what else? Nürburgring Dresden in particular stands out. And I'm pleased for Call to Aachen because I really like that German route. Sandpatch Grade, I don't think it hasn't got any new timetable services, but it does have a new, well, I could say type of locomotive, but type of livery as well. The SD40N in the CSX, almost like grey livery, dark grey livery. Very unusual. Right, we're approaching North Wembley. Do we see Wembley Stadium here? No, we don't. I think we see it at the next Wembley station. Wembley Central, I think. On the brakes. And unlock the doors. Just like that. What am I going to do? I'm going to have a sip of tea, I think. Oh, but I've got to get moving. I'm going to get on the throttle and I'm going to get my cup of tea. The next stop is indeed Wembley Central. I've got my tea. Lovely. We have a red signal up ahead. Why is that then? Train occupying our space? Probably. Lovely. If it makes you thirsty, I apologise. Here's Wembley Central. I quite like the advertisements in London Underground. Some of them look really funny, like, you know, very... what's the word? Yeah, very much have a fantasy aspect to it. But then there's some real ones, I think, as well. Something to do with, like, the Thames, River Thames or something. I think this is the stop where we see the stadium in the distance. There's Wembley in all its glory. Yeah, let's take a look at some of it. We've got the North Circular Shopping Centre, whether that's real or not, I'm not sure. The Bloor Period, 91 to 1995 in the gallery. The Thames Estuary, yeah, we're in a good place. Join us. Lovely, I will. Well, I won't join the Thames Estuary, but I'll maybe go on the Thames one day in the boat. Right, let's get going. The next stop is Stonebridge Park. Matt Jennings, good evening. Hey, how are you? I'm good, yeah. Very good, thank you. Just doing some passenger activities on the Bakerloo line. Elevator fun, yeah, it's good. Certainly looks good, the game, doesn't it? And the advertisements as well bring it to life in one way or another. Oh, we've got a very steep grade now. So let's let the forces of nature take us down. And now we're going back up. Alright, Stonebridge Park is coming up. This is where the Stonebridge Park depot is located. Not too far from here. There we are. Let's unlock the doors. Stonebridge Park depot. I was just checking if the audio was working. That was all. Right, let's rock and roll. Rock and roll! The next stop is Harston, Platform 1. I'd be interested to see what medal I'll get, as I'm going to be late, so... Always a train. Right, here we go, coming up. And on the brakes. I think this has the rush hour passenger technology, so the carriages will soon be full to the brim. Oh no, they won't be, will they? Because it's not rush hour. There's a few people around, getting in and out. Not bad, not bad. Not bad at all. Matt Jennings would be amazing if they had the mainline services to run on the other lines. That's a good point, actually. I'm not sure what line this runs along. I think it's either the Great East or is it the Great Eastern Main Line? Oh, I don't know. I cannot remember. Could it be even the West Coast Main Line? I'm not too sure. But yeah, it'd be nice to have even some just AI traffic around, just to add a bit more vibrancy to the mainline areas, like over there, for example. Make it feel a bit busier, and who knows, we may get that in the special expansion pack thing. We'll have to wait and see. E60 guy 101, hey, how are you? Nice to see you. On to the brakes. There's another train coming in. It's the West Coast Main Line. Ah, I thought it was something like that. Just lock the doors. That's a long old train there, isn't it? Is our train that long? Oh yeah, I suppose it is. Off we go. The next stop is Kensal Green. Just under a mile away. E60 guys on Hauptstrecke Rheinruhr with his favourite, the DBBR 45. Yeah, it's a great electric multiple unit. I kind of like the electric multiple units, the 45, the 43 and the 422. If I was to pick a favourite, I preferably prefer the 4... Is it the 442? No, the 422, sorry. Yeah, 422. I think I'll just pick it. Mainly because of its visual appearance. but the 425, I do agree, is a wonderful locomotive, and the 423 actually. They've got very good sound recordings, so it's very much close to the real life sound recordings, and inside and out as well. Look, as you would expect, in comparison to their real life counterparts. Going through the tunnel. I'll be going for a few of those soon. It's like being in light speed now on the Falcon with you could see from the side. It's like journeying to the centre of the galaxy. We're going way too fast. Way too fast. Way too fast. But we stopped perfectly. Isn't that wonderful? What do TSW fans call RT the Ghost Route Dark Route? No idea. The Ghost Route Dark Route. Oh, unless you meant you were in reference to me going through the tunnel just now. Right, the next stop is Queen's Park, the last overground station before we descend into the darkness of central London. Good old London town. Ah, lovely. Whoa, I've just noticed the speed limit. It's about to go down to 15. Ah! I'll tell you, in preparation for today's stream on the London Underground, I practiced a ton on this route. I did 3 services today, all different types of patterns. Yeah, it was nice to get back into the Bakerloo line, and I look forward to this new service package or scenarios or whatever it's going to get in reference to this expansion pack. I think the most positively surprising is Hauptstrecke München to Schnell Fahrstrecke München to Augsburg with those extra timetables. Really pleased they have bolstered the timetable, because now it can be considered a rival to other routes like München-Augsburg, Nürnberg-Dresden certainly, and even Hauptstrecke Rheinruhr, which I still think is one of the best timetables on German route in Trainsim world. The fact that it's so small, somehow it can cram 404 services is to me is that's extraordinary. I mean, obviously they're not all going to happen at once, but look at Dresden-Chemnitz route or Hamburg-Lübeck. Those services are significantly less activity than Hauptstrecke Rheinruhr. Now, of course, I'm sure like Hauptstrecke Rheinruhr, which had a locomotive DLC, I'm sure Hamburg-Lübeck will get a DLC in the form of a locomotive pack. The 218 is a contender. Definitely the 261, or what's it? I think it's called the 261 shunter definitely that is a strong candidate as well. Dresden Chemnitz and the Werk of Dresden, not too sure. But I was thinking about it as well earlier today, like potential candidates that could come to Train Sim World in form of locomotive DLC, and it's actually more than, when you think about it, more than I expected. There was, we're going way too fast, but oh, never mind. There was, what is it, the TGV route that needs the R duplex, because it's still running around on the LGV Med line as we speak. What else is there? Cathcart Circle could get the BR Class 170 for the Cathcart Circle line. Clinchfield, that I've been covering extensively in my timetable series. You can check that out in the playlist if you're new to my channel. That could quite easily get the GP7 or the U36C locomotive, or the U-boat as it's also known as. What else? I hope Sherman Hill gets the MP15 DC shunter. I really want that to come to Sherman Hill. It's a possibility, but whether Dovetail will do it, I'm not so sure. I have my doubts. Right, the next stop is Maida Vale. Whoa. Let's take a look at the chat. Now that we've arrived at the station. Matt Jennings, do you find some stations have like no passengers at all? Yeah, very much so. A huge quantity of routes don't have a lot of passengers, if any at all. Just trying to think, really. Some candidates. Great Western Express certainly stands out. Even some of the newer routes, like the Arosa line, the West Cornwall route. Obviously, the freight routes will do because, they're freight routes. Hamburg-Lübeck as well, to some degree. I suppose it depends on when you conduct a certain service. Because if it's at rush hour, I'm sure you'll see some. But without the rush hour passenger technology, then you're not going to see nowhere near the amount that we're seeing on, Bakerloo, Curl to Aachen, or the rush hour routes of Boston Sprinter, the Brighton route, and the Werk of Dresden. But over time, Dovetail, we'll add these rush hour passenger technology to all the routes of the past, and it will look and feel, like when it's rush hour, it's rush hour. Not some, not like Independence Day or something like that, the film Independence Day, where it's just, end of the world scenario where everything is empty and abandoned. Or Terminator 2, actually, Salvation, where most of the world is just a desolate wasteland. I love that film, Terminator 2 Salvation. My favourite, one of my favourite Terminator films. I haven't watched that in a while. Need to watch it again. E60 Guy 101, excited for the Sandpatch grade with more scenarios and the SD40D Horn. Yes, long overdue, may I add, but it's great we're finally getting it. Nearly a year late, but I look forward to trying it. And the fact the SD40 gets a new livery for Sandpatch grade, this grey CSX livery. Looks certainly unique, and a unique addition to the CSX lineup. Sherman Hill should get the DDA 40X. I agree. It's certainly a unique locomotive in Union Pacific's roster, and I think for Train Sim World, it'll be a great addition to add to the series. Whether they'll add it is another story, but it's always good to hope. Right, the next stop is London Paddington. I know that station very well. Every time I go to London, I always end up at London Paddington. Last time I was at London Paddington was in June, July of 2020 for a little domestic holiday in London. Good old London town. Just unlock the doors. Also, another thing I did in preparation for my Bakerloo run today was watching the Secrets of the London Underground Bakerloo line on the Londonist YouTube channel. Definitely suggest you give that a watch. I'm sure you probably have. Really great insight into the secrets of Bakerloo line, and enables you to go and look around for the secrets and take in some various sites and so on and so forth that you probably didn't know was there in the route, apart from at street level on the underground platforms, because the street level for these underground stations don't exist in the game, unfortunately, but there we are, that's the way it is. Just turn my mic down a little bit. I'll turn my headphones down, that's a bit easier, so I can hear myself. The next stop is Edgeware Road. It's where that's the Bermuda Triangle of the London Underground, in my personal opinion. Particularly for the Circle line. I would love that to come to the game. Oh, the Circle line. Not even the new version. I prefer like the Circle line of old, like 2005, 2007. With those old sea stock trains. Yes, please. I love that Circle line. Because the beauty of the Circle line is that whichever train you get on at Edgeware Road, either going back to Hammersmith or getting on to, where else? Was there an extension to the Circle line? I'm not too sure, I can't remember. But I remember getting on the wrong train at Circle line years ago when I went to watch a show for my birthday. And we accidentally took the long way round the Circle line instead of the quick way. But oh well, never mind. That's the way it was back then. Oh, we gotta go. Mind the gap. That's what the station announcers should be saying. It would be nice if we could get some authentic sound recordings of the station announcements, not only on the London Underground, but the other British routes as well, and maybe some of the North American passenger routes as well. Germany, I'm not too sure, because I don't understand the German language at all. I'm trying my best to understand it, but it's quite difficult. I'm trying to learn French more than German at the moment because I'm going abroad in just over 2 months' time. touring wonderful France. If it goes ahead. Right, here's Marylebone. Whoa, on the brakes. Here we are. Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Alright, time to rock and roll. Go, 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 go. The next stop is the Baker Street. I'm sure Sherlock Holmes is waiting for us to carry out an investigation of one of his murder mysteries. Or detective stories. In terms of the next stream, tomorrow, same time, same place, YouTube, 8:30 PM UK time. The next route in question, I will be taking a trip across the Allegheny Mountains, or Allegheny Mountains, which is on the wonderful scenic Sandpatch Grade in the United States. So yeah, if you like the US heavy freight stuff, then or just like a USA routes in general, then that's the place for you to come along and have some fun. Matt Jennings also recommend Jeff Marshall's and Jago Hazard's channels. They have great history about the underground. Oh, Jago Hazard's, I've never heard of that guy before, person. Jeff Marshall, yeah, I know him very, very well. Not personally, but his YouTube channel, spot on. Perfect for what he does. I just love his secrets videos. They're top draw, top notch. Really, really interesting and fascinating. The next stop is Regents Park. If you want to get off for London Zoo, then more than welcome. I'd love to go to London Zoo. You know, London is like a city, more like other cities like New York or Milan or Tokyo. You know, very easily you could spend a whole month there just exploring and taking in the sights and the monuments, and it's just wonderful. You know, in real life, you know, if I had a bit of money to play with, I would absolutely go and do that. I'd spend 2 weeks, a month in New York, a month in Tokyo. Well, not really, I don't know, a month in Tokyo, maybe a month, maybe a couple of weeks in Tokyo, Rome certainly, or Milan. So many places I'd love to go and see. I'm mainly a city person because I was mainly born in a city, so but I like the countryside as well. Yeah, so many other places. California I like to go to see. New York, like I said. Scotland, beautiful landscapes in Scotland. Ireland. Wales. I could just name so many places. Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur, Africa, maybe. A lot of places to visit. Right, the next stop is Oxford Circus. The E60 guy 101. Which locomotive, the GP38-2, SD40-2, and CSX or Union Pacific, or the SD40, the AC4400 CW, in CSX or Union Pacific, the C40-AW and the SD70AC. But God, that's a lot. Right, let me just process that a minute. In CSX, out of the SD40-2 or the GP38, probably the GP38. Union Pacific. Right, what have we got for Union Pacific? We have a ton load of locomotives there, don't we? You got a GP38-2 in Union Pacific. I like that as well. The horn's different, but it's also broken at the same time. AC44-100 CW. I do like that on Cane Creek. Miles prefer it than the SD40-2 on Cane Creek, but the SD40-2 on Sherman Hill I like as well. And the SD70 ACE, I like that as well. So favourites, I can't pick an absolute favourite, but the CSX lineup, I definitely have the GP38-2. Oh, going a bit too far. The C40-8W. And for Union Pacific, I'd have. What shall I have? I'll have the AC4400 CW from Cane Creek, the SD40-2 Union Pacific from Sherman Hill, and the SD70 ACE from Sherman Hill. There you are. If you're picking the GP38-2, the best service is to do the Q375. I've seen that in the timetable. I haven't actually tried it. I will be totally honest with you. I have seen that. I think it's like what is it? There's like a shunting service in Cumberland Yard in reference to Q375, isn't there? And I'm not sure what that service entirely is. Like after you've put the train together, I imagine that's either intermodals or tank car train or coal hoppers, maybe. I'm not too sure. Next up is Piccadilly Circus. Yeah, well, either way, I'm going to be covering that service in At Your Service, my timetable series. So rest assured, I'll cover that in my series, that's for sure. I mean, I've got a humongous list of timetable services to do on not just Sandpatch grade, but most of the routes I haven't covered. Here's Piccadilly Circus. I don't know why, but it's almost like the graphics on London Underground just feels to me like it just goes another level. Like the quality of the graphics, particularly of the underground stations, to me just goes up another notch. I'm not too sure why. I mean, I don't know what the quality is like on the stream, but for me, just looking at the underground stations, whether that's flying in at 20 miles per hour or at a standstill, just the lighting and the graphics really go another level. I'm not too sure why. Maybe that's because the route was, graphics-wise, was made to take advantage of the PS5. I mean, I know the PS5 version has improved graphics and stability and rendering, longer draw distances, but I don't know why. It just feels to me like this just stands out. I think it's more of a lighting than anything, whether that be inaccurate or accurate. It just looks to me like it's on another level. Looks really, really impressive. The colours just really stand out. Right, the next stop is Charing Cross. We'll be near the end soon, I think. L. Van Hull, hey, how are you? Nice to see you. Just doing some passenger work on the London Underground. E60 guy 101, you have played a lot of Clinchfield Railroad. Hopefully you survive the no return. Well, I'm getting through the no return. Not as difficult as I expected. It's been rather easier than I thought. So far I've recorded 5 parts. 2 of them are on YouTube now, or I think 2, 3. 2 of them I've done uploaded to the channel. There's another train coming in. I can hear on the right hand side. Yes, there is. Yeah, the no return is not as difficult as I expected. The grades, even though they're 3.5%, it doesn't feel that steep. It doesn't feel that steep. The 3SD40s really take it in their stride, really. Maybe with the loaded coal hoppers, I imagine it's a lot more challenging, particularly going down the grade. I imagine that's a bit of a nightmare. But so far, it's been okay. It's been pretty straightforward so far. I mean, I thought, looking at the timetable menu at the no return, I was looking on it thinking like, oh my lord, this is going to be terrible. This is going to take forever to do. But actually, no, it's pretty straightforward. The parts are not too long. And the objectives are pretty understandable to obtain and understand. The only problem is that it's at 2 o'clock in the morning, or until it goes right through the early hours of the morning. So that's the frustrating bit. Most of the SD40 services are in the pitch dark, which is annoying. Yeah, that's annoying. In particular, parts 3 and 4, I can't actually pick that from the timetable menu. I have to go into the journey mode of the no return, where it's hidden away for some reason. Whether that's either it's too hard or it was just a bug. I imagine it's a bug. But yeah, managed to do those parts successfully first time round. I'm not saying I'm a better driver. Just saying, yeah, the no return so far, 5 parts in, isn't too bad. Nowhere near what I expected. Next stop is Waterloo. Made famous by ABBA. Love that song. I'd love to see London Waterloo Station in the game. Whoa, that'd be beautiful. Seeing those iconic monuments like the London Eye and Westminster, oh, wonderful. I mean, you've got some pretty good landmarks here, like, you know, the Shard and Wembley Stadium. Here we are. Let's unlock the doors. And we gotta go. Constant stopping and starting. Next stop is Lambeth North. Let's go, go, go. Yeah, once I've done Clinchfield Railroad in my timetable series, I'll be moving on to the next route in the series. For now, is back to Germany with Hauptstrecke Hamburg-Lübeck. And then after that is a visit to Scotland with the Cathcart Circle. that's for now. I mean, anything can happen. In particular, the preservation updates, like to either Peninsula Corridor or Great Western Express, like if those two updates come along in the next week or two, then yeah, that could blow the schedule of the Timetable series out of the water, which is good for you, because then you won't know what to expect in the series, but at the same time it's bad for me, because then I've got to change things around and plan new things in advance and record new things, and or things I've already recorded will have to wait and do the editing later, and so it's fine. I'll get through it. It's life. It's never easy. Right, let's lock the doors. Nearly 5 minutes behind schedule. Oh dear. That is normal. That's early in England. Usually 10 minutes late, I think, is counted as being late. So, we're doing alright. And actually, the next stop is the last one. Elephant and Castle. Platform 3. Now, what's the time? 21:31. Oh, just an hour gone. Oh, we'll do a run in the other direction, I think. But I'll go to a different terminating station. I'll do Elephant and Castle to Queen's Park. That was the original plan, time depending, and so far we're doing very well, time-wise. Very impressed. It feels like time has flown by, but it's only been an hour. Or just under an hour, stream-wise. Get on the brakes. Whoa, that scared me. Whoa, I just saw the red signal and then it changed to green. Don't do that to me, game. Jeez. Be kind to me. I'll try my best to keep on time. And now over the speed limit. Here is Elephant and Castle. Here we are. That is part 1 of the stream complete. We will now commence the second part, going in the opposite direction. There we are. Now what will we get? A gold, a silver, or a bronze? It'll be one of those three. Give me a silver, go on. Please? Oh, awesome, we got a gold. Fantastic. Took me 52 minutes. Not bad, not bad, not bad at all. Now, where did we stop at Queen's Park? 13:20. What is it now? 13:52. So, roughly 40 odd minutes. So, that should be roughly the time we have. Oh, there's a Amtrak there. And now we're back to the main menu. Day in the life. Let's pick this one. No idea what the weather's like, so let's go for it. Or time in the day, actually. No idea. Right. Let's do the set of procedures here. Put the key in. Oh. There we are. Set the destination displays. It's nice that you can change the displays, but at the same time, I wish you kind of didn't, because it wastes a bit more time. Put the gauge lights on. Lock the doors. We may have to wait, because That train just beat us out of the tunnel, so we're going to be waiting a while. So if you want to ask your questions or say whatever, then now's your time. We're going to be waiting a fair while, I think. Matt Jennings, forgot to mention you didn't jinx me last week. I passed the assessments to become the South Western Railway Guard. Just an interview next week. Oh, well, awesome. Congratulations. Oh, I'm really pleased for you. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, well done. I'm bloody glad I didn't jinx you. Oh, that's brilliant. Oh, I'm so pleased for you. Relieved, I bet you were. I know how an interview feels. Your heart rate goes at 1,000 miles an hour. Oh, sorry, the assessments. Oh, you passed the assessments. Yeah. Interview. Oh, please, please, please. Hope the interview goes well for you. Oh, but I'm pleased for you. That's really good. I'm sure the railways or South Western Railway will greatly appreciate your work. That is, if the interview is successful, of course. They are a bit light on staff across all the railway franchises at the moment due to the pandemic. But yeah, the restrictions have been eased lately in England, so which yeah, surprising to me, but that's just my view. But hopefully more of the people will come back to work and we'll get the railway back up and running smoothly. I mean, the timetable, the rail operator that's closest to where I live, Great Western Railway, yeah, their timetable has just been wrecked. Particularly towards New Year, it was just chaos. Absolutely terrible. Slowly recovering, but it's nowhere near running as normal. Nowhere near. I remember listening to the radio one day, going to work or coming back from work. There was a lack of... There were some services not running to certain stations because... not because of a lack of drivers or staff, but because of a lack of trains. I was like... What's happened to them? We all got technical problems or something? Oh, we've got another red signal. Ah. Oh, that was a false start. Right, we'll have to stop here. No, we don't. Off we go. Time to recreate the flying kipper when steam engines are added, says E60 guy. Yeah, I remember the flying kipper. Is that actually a real service? Surely it ain't. It was the only time I remember that when I was a tiddly tiny child watching Thomas the Tank Engine. I think it was when Henry crashed, didn't he? Smashed into the back of something and had to go to the menders. Yeah, the flying kipper. I'm not sure, you never know. Liverpool Lime Street. I don't know if that's close to the Liverpool dockyard, but in 1958, who knows? I'm not too sure. I mean, the time period is very much an unknown for me. As much as I'm excited for it because it's back in time and I love that kind of thing. Very nostalgic. The roots to me back in time have more importance to them. Of portraying the period how it would be, whether that be 100% accurate, I'll never know. But but 1958, that's a real step into the dark. I mean, how they must have got the research material for that route, I don't know. I mean, the only kind of things I can imagine is books, magazines. Photography, of course, be it coloured or black and white, videos on YouTube, even there's very scarce amount of them around. The British Path Institute, of course, they have a lot of old footage of the railways back in those days. So, yeah, very interesting. If you were to ask me a loco add-on for that route, don't. I mean, I honestly have no idea. Because the only candidate I could see maybe happening is the very iconic steam locomotive known as the Duchess of Sutherland. Or, yeah, Sutherland, I think. That is the only one I think I know that scuttled around on Liverpool to Crewe or within that region in the late 1950s. But how do I know that, you may be asking? It's because of an old VHS video I obtained and managed to get working the other day. I barely could see it, but thankfully the audio was in decent quality, so it's more like listening to a podcast than a video, but yeah, it was interesting. I don't know your name, but it's Russian, or a country of a Russian language. Hello, nice to see you. We're just on the London Underground, Bakerloo line, doing some services. Already running late, but that's okay. Because the timetable is almost impossible to keep to on this route. I hope that is rectified with this expansion pack. Whenever that happens. What kind of Diesel Legends theme add-on would you like to see in Train Sim World? What route, you may be asking? Ooh, that's a tough one. Diesel Legends. I'm just trying to think. What have we got? Well, Great Western Express, that's done, so that's a tick, isn't it? Northern Transpennines an old school route. So is Tees Valley Line. East Coastway, Brighton Main Line, maybe. What other British routes have we got? Cathcart. That'll be interesting to see that in a steam or diesel legends age. Other than that, I'm not too sure. Mainly because I can't think. I think I've said all the British routes. Southeastern High Speed, not really fussed on that one. I like it how it is in the present day. I must say, speaking of diesel legends and so on and so forth, I cannot wait for the preservation update to Northern Transpennine. I am dying for that to come soon. My good lord, I'm so excited for that. To see the improved graphics of the sky, the very funky destination displays. Hopefully it'll fix a stack load of stuff as well with the locos and the services and the heavy freight pack as well. And maybe they'll add more substitution in the form of the 20 or the 31 being involved, even though it may not be realistic, just for a bit of fun. Yeah, I hope so. They could do with adding some more shunting services for the 08 up at Leeds, because it doesn't have any shunting services at Leeds, and the depot at Leeds is just, well, a bit of a wasteland. Because I don't think there's any services going to the Leeds depot in the timetable mode. I'm not too sure. I'll actually have a look at that actually when I've concluded this service. Here's Charing Cross. Yeah, but in the order that the preservation updates are coming, surprising, some of them, how low they are on a list, like Rossignol. Like, I'm staggered how low that is on the list. I mean, because that's been in the pipeline waiting for months. Peninsula Corridor first out, pleased. It needs to happen now, really. It's in desperate need of it, for sure. Great Western Express was not a surprise, considering how popular that still is. Transpennine, I'm pleasantly surprised and absolutely delighted, as that's my favourite, if not one of my favourite routes in the series. So yeah. What else? Oakville Subdivision. That's another surprise. I'm really surprised that's not the sharp end of the list. It's in the middle or something like that. So that's a surprise. East Coast Way is another bit of a shock. I mean, surely not much needs to be done to it. It's already got the rush hour passenger technology and the destination displays already installed. So yeah. Again, quite surprised that's far down the list as well. I haven't got the list on me right now, but I know it's not in the top 5 or top 10, if there is a top 10. Here's Queen's Park. Sorry, Queen's Park. Piccadilly Circus. I was looking at the destination display. It's a passenger right here at the end. Just darkness to the right. Where's that train gone? He's one stop ahead of us, so should be okay. Okie doke. I remember playing Northern Trans Pennine for the first time, playing the rescue scenario. Yeah, the scenarios are good, nice variety. The 45 is just brilliant, really nice. The sounds, the performance characteristics, it just feels like a really strong locomotive. And the 40 as well. Replicated as well, and it's good to get a variation of the 47, like you see it in its element, and obviously you get to experience the cleaner, nicer side of life in the 47 as well, with the West Somerset Railway. The next stop is Oxford Circus, on a very steep uphill grade. I think there's one station that's the deepest level on this on the Bakerloo line. I can't remember which one. Let me have a look. Oh, it was before Oxford Circus, that's for sure. Because now we're just going up and up and up to ground level from now on. Whoa, bit too far. Very far. Whoopsie. Whoopsie. My mistake. There's no football this weekend for my team, or soccer. Weird of them without them playing. So there's certainly been a void of things to do and watch. And certainly something to think about as well. during the 90 minutes of a football or soccer match. There's still some of my favourite soccer teams playing. Valencia in Spain, Borussia Mönchengladbach in Germany. Italy, I don't know. I don't really have a favourite club in Italy. I did like Inter Milan, but I'm not really a fan of them now because of their badge. Ugh, it's horrible. I hate the new badge. AC Milan I like a lot. Napoli is a good club. I do like Napoli. Always appreciated the Napoli side. Always done well in Serie A. Always challenging for Champions League. Well, we need to pick up the pace. What are we doing? What are we doing? Go, go, go. Here's Regents Park, dead ahead. This time I'm not going to overstep the mark. That's for sure. Cruise in, nice and steady. E60 Guy 101 on Sherman Hill, there is a scenario called Magnet for Trouble. Magnet for Trouble, that's the one with the robbers or bandits, isn't there? I think. Something like that, isn't there? Speaking of that kind of situation, I saw on the news actually, on BBC News, there was this report of a railway line in Los Angeles, and the whole track was just literally covered in rubbish, you know, mainly just, you know, cardboard boxes and all sorts of things, you know, things for supermarkets, medical supplies, you name it. Everything was just covered on the tracks because of robbers getting into the containers and just robbing every single train that goes by. And I think the speed limit is pretty low as well, and the security was, well, practically non-existent at the time. And of course now the security's been beefed up, but just to see the scale of it, you know, the amount of rubbish there is on the track and the amount of things they've stolen, you know, it's just extraordinary. You know, literally thousands of dollars, probably millions of dollars of things stolen, you know, be that Amazon packages or, you know, things for the supermarket or medical supplies, you name it. Things for the vets, you know, anything, you know, clothes. It's just extraordinary. The amount of this stuff laying on the track. I mean, Lord knows how they're going to clear it. And they'll have to clear it up pretty soon. And because, recently in the northeast of the United States, there was a very big snow blizzard. And I believe it's sweeping west, so yeah, I think California will get a shock with a snowstorm. It's not every day that that part of the States has a snow blizzard. I'm a bit jealous because I like the snow, but at the same time I kind of don't want it because, yeah, can't do much. But hey, I don't think I'll mind a few days off work because of the snow. I don't mind at all. Means I get to stay at home and relax. E60 Guy 101, Postman Pat had enough, so he threw his stuff off the bridge. Yeah, he raged. His wages weren't good enough, or his van was too unreliable, or his cat was annoying him, so he just, instead of taking it out on just the cat, he took it out on the Amazon packages. I don't think the little kids want to see Postman Pat enraged. I don't think anyone would. Whoa, we're going way too fast. Now, there was obviously in the roadmap, when was it, last week, week before? Time flies by. I think it was last week. The rumoured new Swiss route is coming by Rivet Games. Now I think I know where it is going to or from. There's a town called Leuzen, if I've said that correctly. Now it's either going to Zurich, which is in Switzerland, I think. Switzerland. I can't think of the other place. I saw it the other day. I don't know, but it's kind of in the northwest-ish. And yeah, quite pleased that we're getting another route in Switzerland, different layer of challenge. Be interesting to see if Rivet Games can get their act together on the scenery, because the distance scenery on the Rosa line was terrible. like really bad, terrible. So I hope they clear their act up and produce a good looking route. West Cornwall wasn't too bad, it looked pretty good, so hopefully they follow that up with a good one in Switzerland. I was also doing some mooching around and taking a look at, Horseshoe Curve and the operations that they do, and Norfolk Southern, and learning the history of the brand and all that kind of stuff, because I knew what the brand was, but it was a freight brand, but I didn't really know much about it other than knowing what it is and what it does, and it's really quite fascinating. The hype level for Horseshoe Curve for me has kind of gone up, but then at the same time I don't want it to go up because just in case it's going to be a massive disappointment. I think visually, route-wise, it's nowhere near at the level of Cane Creek, which is disappointing. So I am pleased that Dovetail said to them, look, we're going to give you more time here, and we'll give you some help to make it look a bit better. And I hope so too, because not only the route, but the locomotives, particularly the interior of the ES44AC, yeah, not up to standards I'd like, that's for sure. It would be nice if we had some different rolling stock as well, because I'm going to get a bit sick and tired of them constantly reusing rolling stock. Like Cane Creek was on the face of it bad. Like they could have given us at least one new locomotive, and they could have given us those container wagons for the contaminated material operations, or whatever you call it, the dirty dirt trains. Because those wagons, if you compare them to real life, they are just not that. I mean, they're effectively CSX rolling stock just being used 5-6 times over. It's getting a bit silly. So it would be nice if we had some new rolling stock. I think for the container wagons, actually, they could have used the trash containers that came from Northeast Corridor. That would have been a brilliant substitute for the real life contaminated containers, because they are effectively, they look kind of the same. I mean, obviously the proportions may be a bit different, and obviously the colour is different as well. I think the trash cars on Northeast Corridor New York are green, so yeah, I think some new rolling stock on certainly some of the new third-party routes we're getting, like Cane Creek and Horseshoe Curve. They need to step it up. I have no problem with replicating a locomotive once or twice, but 3 or 4 times, it's getting a bit repetitive and silly. We had the GP38-2 on Sandpatch Grade, Northeast Corridor, Peninsula Corridor. What else? Horseshoe Curve, the SD40-2, we've had that on Sandpatch Grade. Cane Creek, Sherman Hill. So yeah, it's just getting to the point where it's time to freshen it up. It's good. They're good locomotives. Nothing wrong against them. But yeah, I think it's time for a bit of a refresh, I think, now. And it's good. We've had really, not 2 new modern freight locomotives for the USA. I mean, we've had the SD70 ACE, the C40-8W, and that's it in the game at the moment. Of course, we're getting the 44AC from Horseshoe Curve whenever that turns up. So yeah, I think maybe Skyhook Games is an exception because it's still relatively new to making the game, making the route, reproducing the physics and the services and the gameplay and all that kind of jazz, the artwork, you name it. but I wouldn't mind something new being added. And I hope Skyhook Games and Dovetail as well add some new locomotives and maybe with some new rolling stock as well to the free, or now what, free? Yeah, free. 4 actually, if you include Clinchfield. 4 US freight routes we've had since Train Sim World 2's release. Because the AC44, what's it called? The AC44's, I forgot what it's called. The C40-8W, sorry. Yeah, that needs, that was a good loco pack. You know, that was good variety of new services, good scenarios in challenging conditions, and it added a new, I think it was a 100-ton or a 3-bay or 4-bay coal hopper. So I've got no problem with adding that. If they added something like that to the US freight routes that we've had in Train Sim World 2 so far, that would be great. Just what we need. Mr. Quicko Streams, hello, how do you get the TSW2 on your video? As when I do it, it doesn't appear for me. Hashtag TSW2. Ooh, blimey, that's a good question. You'll have to go into the YouTube Studio app and find the tag section and type it in. Whether that appears before or after a stream, I don't know. I think that's in the luck of the draw. It used to didn't appear before I returned to streaming. Streams of the past I did, that didn't appear at all. But now since I've come back, it just somehow does it now. So I don't know. But that's, yeah, go into the tag section of the YouTube Studio, be that on the desktop or the app, and yeah, you'll be able to add it in. A60 Guy 101, let's hope River Games don't make horrible mountains. No, we don't want that. It's certainly not. Norfolk Southern is a merger between the Norfolk and Western and Southern. Ah, I see. Okay. Trainmaster, hey Spurs, how are you? Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Hope you're well, my friend. Welcome. Aren't they making the GEVO? I'm going over speed limit here. Whoopsie daisy. Too busy looking at the chat. Never mind. We're running late anyway, so it doesn't matter. In a way, we got a head start. Never mind. GEVO is a... Yeah, ES44AC. Yeah, we are getting that. Yeah. We are. E6 Guy 101. I love the trash train services with the GP40-2. Yeah, on Northeast Corridor. Yeah. They were good fun. They're just something different. Over harbour, where the trash containers are going to be transported. Yeah, it was nice to see that. I'm still crossing my fingers and hoping and praying that they bring back Northeast Corridor New York in some shape or form. I really, really would love that to happen. Excuse me. And bring back the Amtrak shunter. I think the cab car, the Amtrak cab car, is a strong possibility. They should have brought that back. Hands down, they should have brought that back with Boston Sprinter. You know, for it to do push-pull services. Because without it, there's not many services that obviously ACS 64 could do. It's got nowhere near the amount of services that the MBTA stock have on Boston Sprinter, that's for sure. Here's Kilburn Park, not too far from the finish line now. E60 Guy 101, the Amtrak Silver Star service is never used despite appearing on the Boston Sprinter and in some scenarios on the Old Northeast Corridor. Yeah, the double header ACS 64 service. Yeah, I know what you mean. Shame we can't control that, but it would be nice to control it. sure if you're on PC, I'm sure you could find a way to get it playable, either through mods or breaking the game or whatever. The next and final stop is Queen's Park. Over 2 minutes late, well 3 minutes late nearly, but not too bad. Not bad at all. Daylight is in front of us. What a wonderful sight. I wonder what weather we're going to have. Pouring rain or 16, 15. Oh, a nice sunset. Oh, no, it's not. It's pouring of rain. Never mind. That was a shame. Pouring of rain, typical British weather. Here we are, end of the line. Blimey, it's dark in this station, isn't it? Have they got any lighting on? It's very dark in this station. Very dark indeed. It's pretty dark, isn't it? Very dark. There's no lights on at all, is there? Could put the lights on. Oh, we're not finished yet. We've got to put it in Queen's Park siding. Oh, that was a surprise. Did not expect that. Right, let's set the destination. Not in service. Turn that off. Come on, let's get moving. Go, 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 go. Fast as you can. Please. Come on, move. Or it's a bit slow. I know it's raining, but you can move a little bit quicker. A bit late now. We've arrived near practically at the shed. E60 on Metro Liner cab car was originally an electric multiple unit. It was the Bird Metro Liners, but they were meant to be high-speed engines, but had problems. Yeah, I did know that they were used as Metro Liners. I think it was in the 1980s, 70s, something like that. I'm not too sure. But yeah, then they were repurposed as unpowered cab cars. Let's come to a halt. One train leaves the shed. I'm terminating, and there's another train going by as well. Took me 34 minutes. Not bad, not bad. Gold medal. That's just what I like to see. And I think I'll call it a day. Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the stream. Some passenger services on the London Underground Bakerloo line. Of course, if you enjoyed the stream, make sure to give it a like, subscribe if you are new for more Train Sim World streams. It will be re-uploaded to the channel with the live chat on replay as well, so you can watch it back as many times as you like. The next stream will be on same time tomorrow, 8:30 p.m. UK time, for some heavy freight action on Sandpatch Grade in Pennsylvania or Maryland. So yeah, hope you'd enjoyed it. I certainly did. It was great fun getting on the London Underground Bakerloo line, and as always, I will see you next time. Thank you very much. Have a good evening. Take care.